I haven't done it yet, and now I'm doing it. We're live.
Welcome there, boys and girls. I see. Look, this is why I don't like our producer. He's trying to be setting us up. You see that? But it don't matter.
It was a little better.
He didn't catch us this time.
It was a little better today.
We were on it. We were on it. We paid attention.
Usually we're in the middle of a conversation.
And he does that. I don't know why he thinks that's funny.
I thought we were supposed to introduce our new locale. I thought we were going to.
And y'all see us? Like, look, we're in the bougie levels now. I love it. I love it. Hey, we're at Shakerton's. If anybody's ever been in Shakerton's, Prosper, I don't know where Prosper is, but we're in Prosper.
North of the city.
There we go.
In my hometown, my current hometown.
And look, this is a nice bar. Like, look, I had the wings here. They were pretty good. I mean, y'all, look, I already got my drinks going. So, I mean, this is always a beautiful.
We have that down on lockdown.
There's not too many bars that can mess this up. And if they do, we won't be back. The wings are good, though. Like, the food period, I thought was good. So, I mean, I think this is and look, management, they love us here. So far, and we just got here. We just got here, and we already got support. So I dig it. So I'm liking it so far. We're gonna see how this goes.
We're so at our new locale, Donkey's Den. I'm the professor. You got Cowboy Eli.
Oh boy, hey, look,
I love that the hat is back, man.
Yeah,
we have no idea. I thought the vibe was off. Like
it was a little off.
Why did you take the hats off, man? You got like 20 of them. Bring one.
Look, I'm back with it. Look, this is what's it called? A Larry Mayman hat. Have you heard of this one?
No.
They're really nice.
I didn't know they had names.
Oh my god, this is handmade. Like
I know.
There was a bunch of little Mexican ladies. They handcraft this and make it good quality material. It's fantastic. I love it. I love them little old Mexican ladies. It's fantastic. They're great. you gotta love them. Shout out to them. This is a beautifully made hat.
Can I give you my favorite old Mexican lady story?
Absolutely. I got
one. Back in my internship days, the company I worked for, it was 90% Mexican.
So bad.
And I got to tell you, Cinco de Mayo was.
Oh, of course it would. I had it.
All the old Mexican ladies. Well, what I'll never forget was the carne asada and the guacamole. Right.
Okay.
And what I'll never the part that I'll never forget was there was the real guacamole and the gringo guacamole. Right. hold on. I sat there and I started eating the gringo guacamole. It's like, holy crap, this is spicy. They laughed at me like I was just straight trash. I was like, it's spicy. No, it's not. Get the hell out of here, you moron.
I love it.
But we have today actually was a sad day.
It's a very somber day. It's a very somber day for Bears fans. It's an unfortunate day. We lost our matriarch. It was after 102 years.
Yeah, let's first congrats on running a long marathon.
Hell of a life.
I mean, honest to God, 102 years.
102 years.
I was like, I did not know she was sticking around that long. I mean,
she was waiting for that next Super Bowl. That's what.
Well, it's not gonna happen.
No, not for her. Like, no, they can't. And you know what's interesting? So here's a little tidbit. So we looked it up right before the show. You know what would be interesting? God rest her soul. I mean, it is what it is. You know what would be interesting if she followed in her footsteps of her father. So who died a year and a half before
Correct.
The Bears' only Super Bowl.
Correct.
What if we're a year away from our Super Bowl? If that happens, you want to talk about writing a script. That would be the epitome of, come on now, you following your...
Have you heard about the color scheme conspiracy theory?
Of course. Of course.
Hold on. Right. The last three Super Bowls, based on the color scheme of the Super Bowl logo, have predicted Kansas City.
Whoever's on the bottom. Yep.
Okay. Did you hear who they've already shown the next Super Bowl logo?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear who is currently predicted based on the color scheme theory? I'm not saying it's some profound thing, but the color scheme suggests
Raiders,
Chicago, LA Chargers.
I did not see that because you know the one I saw Detroit beating the Raiders. That's what
Raiders?
Exactly. And I was like, well, that's where it's
not that Chicago going there is isn't some
We have a better chance of going than the Raiders.
Absolutely.
Like what? Just because Tom Brady's there, he's not on the field, so nobody's scared of the Raiders. Like, no, we're not doing it.
I mean, the Raiders are. I don't know what. If there was one franchise I would not want to be any part of as a head coach, right? I would not want any part of going.
Oh, he is
the
Pete
Raiders.
Carroll. He is Pete Carroll.
First of all, an 80 was he 82?
Oh, he's in his 70s. Chill out.
Okay. Oh,
73.
I'm sorry.
He's 73.
He was only 73. I thought it was a little bit. Regardless,
He's a vibrant 73.
look who he's going to have to face 6 times a year. Right?
Okay.
The immortal Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
You've got Mr. Pretty Boy from the Chargers.
Yeah. Okay.
And the next rising star youngster quarterback from Denver. All 3 of those teams made the playoffs this year.
All right. So, I hear you, but you understand why I may disagree with you. Who did he have to face in the West? San Fran with Jim Harbaugh and all that. He had to face when Arizona was at its peak. So I don't think this is like completely out of the realm.
Well,
and actually, even when LA was starting to ascend, so it wasn't like we considered at one point the NFC West was the hardest division in the league.
Here's the thing. Pete Carroll is currently being credited with finding the biggest cheat code right now that exists in the league. Draft a quarterback, build a team around him while he's still in his rookie contract.
What's wrong with that?
And they won a championship.
And they went to another one
with Russell Wilson. They should have won 2.
That was his fault.
Oh my God! There's some.
That was his fault.
There's some Seattle fans are going to write some hate mail, but
that was his fault too.
They should have won 2. And I don't even think anyone in knew any Patriots fan would disagree with me.
Hey, but hold on. Marshawn actually doesn't hate him for it because look, guess who was at Pete Carroll's press conference yelling out Raiders? They still are good. And actually, like I said on the last podcast, I hope Marshawn gets a job with Pete Carroll. Get him hire him as the running back coach. Why not? Why would that hurt?
I've heard of worse ideas. Yeah, I've heard of worse ideas.
Lou, here's the thing. The only controversial hire that the Bears have done on the coaching staff is making Antoine Randall the assistant head coach. I don't know what that is.
Well, I think we talked about it at the last episode.
Maybe I was I don't know.
There are very specific rules about players coaches being coached on other teams for equivalent positions. In other words, you can hire an offensive coordinator if you make him a coach. You can hire a linebacker coach if you make him defensive coordinator. He wanted to bring in Randall L. Right? But for some reason, he didn't want to make him the offensive coordinator, which is the weird part, actually, to think about. Like, why not make him the offensive coordinator if you want him to do it?
Yeah.
That would have made more sense to me.
Okay.
Instead, they made him an assistant head coach, right? So they could hire a different offensive coordinator.
Fill that point. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they get this guy from Denver who's, still has a 2 at the beginning of his birthday. I don't know. I think it's close. I think he's 27.
Declan. Yeah.
I think it's 27, but it's close.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, wow, when we start hiring coaches who have a 2 on a 2000 on their, it's like, oh,
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm sure.
Start somewhere.
But
I don't know if the players are going to listen to him, but they got to start somewhere.
And it's so weird because it's like I sit there and I think, why he's definitely the most interesting hire. I agree with the Randall L, but my take on it was, well, they just wanted to hire. He wanted to hire his buddy on the team, right? Bring him along. That's understandable, right? What I didn't understand is why this Declan guy? He plays in a different division. Can you name the tight end on Denver right now? Like, I have to think about it.
Is TJ Decker there? Or no, what is it? No, I don't know.
Maybe Mr. Rooster can help us on that one, but I have no idea who the tight end on Denver is, and I have no idea if he's overachieving or some sort of phenom at coaching this position. So It is. That is definitely, to me, that's the higher one. I didn't get it.
So I want to bounce back because I mean we still have to talk a little bit about this somber day. Are you willing to talk about your controversial statement prior to this?
Well,
I want to talk about that.
Let's
Unpack that a little bit. I want to hear.
again, I don't think it's a negative statement per se. Right? When I sit there and I say, you know, she's been the matriarch of the Fed for the last the head of the organization for the last 40 years. But let's also be honest, in the last 40 years, it hasn't necessarily been this great, viable team building empire, right? And that's, one way to kind of look at it. And maybe it's a little cynical, but, we have an organization being run by a very strict code of conduct. One of the things I found extremely fascinating. We talked about over the summer, the Bears were finally allowed to go on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
She opposed the Bears going on that show for the previous 20 years.
Yeah.
For as long as that show has been going on.
Okay.
He consistently said, "I don't think so." Meanwhile, the Cowboys, the Jets, several organizations have done multiple times. Right?
Be successful because of from a marketing standpoint.
Look, from a marketing standpoint alone, it's you would think it's worth it, right? But that wasn't her mindset on how she looked at business, right? And that mindset really kind of limited the overall projection. Okay? So did you know this? The Bears had a contract with HBO that no cursing was allowed from any Chicago Bear player.
I didn't know that. That sounds terrible.
Look, I'm not saying it's terrible, right? There's nothing wrong with having faith and believing it, right? But when it starts interfering with your need to move forward the organization, maybe you start asking questions like, is this really worth it?
I like R-rated programs. There's a reason I like.
Hey, I'm sensitive. Look who he's asking about cursing being a.
Hey! I still haven't said anything yet, so hey, forget y'all. I'm going home.
You're gonna lose that bet so hard. It's not funny.
I'm sitting here. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's like, remember this range. Y'all ain't gonna get me.
But here's the thing: we do live in a new era, right?
We do.
Social media and marketing influences being, and more importantly, making bold decisions on personnel. We talked an episode earlier this year about Felix was finally being fired.
Yeah,
he was the first coach for the Bears ever to be fired in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And he absolutely deserved it. Okay, but one of the questions we didn't ask at the time was like, why is he the first one?
Yeah,
like why didn't they do that before?
Where's the turning point?
Right? Like why did that happen before? Why? Well, because we had a matriarch who was running the organization extremely conservatively, and would sit there and say, "No, let's just wait till the end of the season before making any decisions. We don't want to make any bold moves."
Well, I think that majorly changed when we fired Ted Phillips. That's where everything. Because here's the thing: you got to remember, Ted Phillips. We made him president of football operations. You made an accountant. Head of football, and then look, I do accounting. There's no way you're going to tell me that just because from a finance perspective he's very good with numbers, that he can run football operations. He can run the business, but football operations no. So what do? We fired him.
Yeah.
And who do we hire? We have brought in Kevin Warren, who used to run the Minnesota Vikings. He ran the Big Ten.
Yeah.
He knows football.
Right.
So I think this is where you started to see the shift. Now, just because unfortunately Virginia McCaskey's on her last leg, yes, okay, that probably played some role. But I think this was already kind of in motion when
there have been
Ted Phillips had.
Here's it. We've talked from time to time about Cole's mistakes.
Yes.
Right? My perspective is, as long as you make more good moves than bad moves eventually works out, right? So using it.
Has he?
This is a key offseason, right?
Okay.
Because I want to give another shout out to you about a debate we had not too long ago that I'm dead wrong.
I get flowers back-to-back weeks. Oh, yay.
Poles made a decision to pass on Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a guess who's been the number one PFF player in the second half of the season this year at any position in the NFL?
I have no idea. I'm not the stack.
It's Jim.
I get my flowers back-to-back weeks.
I mean, he has been a wrecking ball in the center of the Philly defense, and they go into the Super Bowl as the number one ranked defense in the NFL. That was not the case last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
I don't know if I agree with that because, like I said,
no, these are statistically true.
You looked this up already? We confirmed this already? Oh, okay, all right then.
At the back half the second year. Basically, around the time where I told you, no, he did the right thing trading
when they did this last stupid Super Bowl of the Chiefs for the Eagles. I just wanted to know, it was the Eagles defense not number one then?
The Kansas City Chiefs had the superior defense.
Okay.
Last year.
All right. Well, then,
we're talking about statistically, right? We're not talking about.
By the way, when we get to the Super Bowl, I have a little bombshell. Okay,
I'm listening.
Yeah. We're at there. Look. So, out of protest to the Kansas City Chiefs, you know what I did? You know what I went out and did? I went out and I bought a throwback Michael Vick Philadelphia Eagles jersey. I did it. I bought it. And for Super Bowl Sunday, he, as the diehard Bears fan with it branded on me, literally tatted on me, I'm going to wear that Michael Vick jersey. Now, I'm going to wear a Bears, because I have a Bears black and white hat. So I'm going to do it. But I'm going to wear this jersey out of protest because I don't want the 3-peat. I don't want Taylor Swift. I don't want any of this. This is terrible. This is annoying. This is irritating. I'm sick of this. So, yes, in Dallas, I am supporting the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care what you Dallas Cowboys fans, because you guys have made stupid decisions this entire past couple months. So, which we'll talk about, but I can't.
My take is this. I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Right? I'm probably rooting for the Eagles. I believe they're going to win. And it's not just a fandom concept, right? Statistically, they have the better defense, and the best player on offense resides on Philadelphia, or on either team. Now, that being said, I recently heard a comment about this that made a lot of sense. With all the vitriol that goes against Kansas, and whether you believe it's fair comments, and I'm not saying it's not. We heard a lot of those same comments growing up in the 90s in Chicago about the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Jordan gets all the calls. Yada. Okay. And there is a plausible vitriol that comes from fan bases that are frustrated from other teams that they're not in that position. Okay? I'm not saying it's 100%, but I think it is a fair perspective to sit there and say, you know what? Maybe there's a tinge of jealousy in some of his comments because, let's be honest, we've heard them with peak Jordan years. Oh, he gets all the calls, yada, yada. He's not that good, yada, yada. These are the same comments we're hearing about Patrick Mahomes. It's the same comments we heard about Tom Brady in his heyday. Right? I remember when Kansas City was playing New England when Brady was still there.
Yeah.
You saw who's rooting for this map of the U.S. Who's rooting for New England? Who's rooting for Kansas City? This outside of Boston, it was all Kansas City red. Well, yeah. Flash forward 7 years later, now it's the exact opposite. Outside of Kansas City, it's Philadelphia green. Even then, it's a question mark, right? But I actually believe Philadelphia has done a tremendous job building the squad from the last Super Bowl, and they've accumulated the superior level of talent on both offense and defense.
Look,
going back again, Ryan Poles is one of the biggest reasons because the best player on their defense, arguably the best player on their team, was a gift from Chicago Bears. He should be playing for us. He should be. We needed a 3-technique defensive tackle. The best one to come out in a decade was right there. And what they do, they traded back for, right now, quite frankly, a middle-tier right tackle. And I mean, there's a lot of work to do on the offensive line. That draft mistake is one of the reasons.
And that's hey, I'm just saying. I am.
But let me try to
wait, hold on. I'm just saying. I want y'all to understand because so apparently my producer wants me to emphasize how much Michael Vick Throwback. I look, and a lot of people know who's watched this show, who's seen this show, what have you, or who knows me. I'm a diehard Bears fan. The fact that I went out, and I bought number 7, all black. It was an all black with the green trim. Michael Vick, number 7. Man, look.
We're showing it on the screen, right?
Do you want to know? What?
Beautiful thing.
I got a Mike Vick trivia.
Right, he's left-handed. I can't do the right hand. He wasn't right-handed. I gotta do the left-handed.
Correct me wrong. He never actually got those Super Bowls, right?
He got to the NFC Championship game and
got someone upset him.
The Eagles. The Eagles.
Was it the Eagles?
It was the Eagles because they went in and they met who they beat. Tom Brady.
It wasn't Atlanta.
They
met the Atlanta year.
No, they met Tom Brady. No, the Atlanta's only Super Bowl appearance was against who? The AFC ultimately
New England.
No, it was not. It was
Atlanta?
Denver. It was Denver.
No.
Atlanta.
Are you kidding me? Like it was the
show me Super Bowl. Oh, wait, no. You're talking. No, you're talking about 2016.
I couldn't remember the year.
I'm talking. If you're talking, I'm saying the only times Atlanta saw the Super Bowl, they saw New England in 2016, and they saw Denver Broncos in 1998. That was it.
98. I can't recall.
That was what's his name's last Super. Oh my God! The quarterback, Hall of Fame, John Elway.
Elway. Okay.
Was this his last one or was it one before that?
Well,
it was one of those. It was one of those last two. I can't remember. Which one?
You remember the Atlanta Super Bowl, the infamous.
Oh, the 28-3.
They were up.
The 28-3. Yeah, nobody will ever. Here's the problem.
They'll never live it.
Like, look, see, most Super Bowl losers will they'll eventually fade out into the dust and but it's there's certain infamous losers that you'll never forget about. Like you'll never forget about Buffalo losing 4 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never forget about them. You'll never forget about Seattle losing because of a stupid call.
Yeah.
You'll never forget about 28-3. These are ones that is you're gonna live in infamy. You're just going to. Did you find it? Which one was it?
No, I'm sorry. I was.
Oh, okay, all right. But there's certain ones that is wow. And actually, they're even the ones oh wait, the helmet catch with New England losing it. That one is
Well, to be fair, New England kind of recovered after that.
Oh, of course. And so that's why you can forget about that one. That's the only reason you forget about that. But if that was New England's last Super Bowl attempt, that would live. So it's those.
Actually, statistically, especially over the last 15 years or so, the loser of the Super Bowl, their season afterwards tends not to be that.
Oh yeah, they fall off.
We remember that Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Buffalo teams that went back to back to back. No one's done that in a while.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking.
That Super Bowl loser usually ends up with a crappy season.
That's why they will live in.
Look at the 49ers. I mean, they didn't even sniff the playoffs.
There's been some really bad Super Bowl losses where it's those moments will live in your memory forever, no matter what. And I think Buffalo will never shake that. They'll never be able to shake that. I think Seattle would never be able to shake that. Atlanta, we'll never be able to shake that. Like it's
I think the players will never be able to shake that. I mean, Seattle. Gosh, I don't even think there's anyone left from that particular
no, it's done.
team.
They're all done. They're all out of Seattle. Like,
San Francisco is going to take a while to figure it out. But I do think it matters how you lost, right? I mean, San Francisco losing to one score in overtime to Kansas City last year. I don't think anyone's going to sit there and say they had a crappy game.
No, that's why I said
they lost a coin flip at the end of a.
That's why I said like nobody's gonna like forget that. But San Fran, what they are gonna remember is the loss to Baltimore. The lights go out and all that crap that the Jim versus John Harbaugh like that. They're gonna remember that one. That one's gonna sit there, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. You let Joe Flacco beat you. Like, come on now. Like, what are we talking about here? That was Colin Kaepernick's last hurrah, like, because he fell off after that. Like, what are we doing there?
I mean,
I'm just saying. I'm just being. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wait. What's that? Is it better to say he fell it down to one knee? I don't know. Like, is that what we're saying? I don't. Like,
well, again, that goes back to the original Seattle theory, right? Get a young quarterback and ride him as long as you can.
Been down on one, didn't he?
This is why. This is what I'm saying. Virginia McCaskey, if she ever listened to us, she'd be like,
"I don't want to listen. I don't want to get haunted. What is this? I'm not doing this.
Trash.
I don't want to.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. Look, I just speak the truth sometimes. Look, I'm blunt, but I'm just saying. Colin Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick was on the pinnacle of the NFL world, and then he was like, "Hey, I just want to make this little protest. You're not that important. Hold on, calm down. You aren't that important, my guy. Like, look, here's the thing. If like Ray Lewis did it, well, hell, even if Tom Brady did it, probably people have been like, all right, but like, no, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing to do this. Anyway,
an old timer taught me a few lessons.
Ain't you the old timer?
An old timer taught me a couple lessons. One of them was no politics, no religion, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to offend somebody, right? So just keep conversations about we're talking about business now, right? Because at the end of the day, NFL players were employees, right? And there's nothing wrong with you having those thoughts in your head or you exercising your right to vote. But as an employee, when you're sitting there saying this, that, and the other thing, it doesn't matter left, far right. It didn't matter. You sit there and you risk alienating people from the other side. Right?
Speaking of which, so hold on. I know this is completely off topic, but it's to that point. So Hulk Hogan, biggest star in WWE, WWF, all the. So WWE just recently went to Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. And so they were doing uncut all the time. So, but their first episode on Netflix, they did this huge thing. They brought all these big stars. Well, they brought Hogan back, right? And he got the most standing boo that you absolutely could have.
Yeah.
And so he went on Pat McAfee's show, right? And they did an interview. And he tried to say, "Oh, it's just the politics." It's like, no, it's the racist remarks. It's all the things you did. Like, did we forget other things that you did and said? You thought we were just going to forget about that? No, you're a terrible human being, Terry. You're a terrible human being. He's a horrible.
But
EOS.
But let's call it like it is. He expressed far right conservative.
That's not far right. Racism. No, he was saying the N-word.
Let me finish my point.
All right, go ahead.
Because I'm not disagreeing with you.
All right.
I think at least a significant proportion of the vitriol. And let's try to tag it into Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
At least a significant portion of the vitriol that Kansas City is attached to Taylor Swift, right? Who's had her fair share of political commentary, controversial statements that the other side doesn't particularly like, right? And therein lies my points, right? Just stay neutral, stay out of all that stuff. to use the euphemism, stay in your particular lane.
Well, he couldn't do that.
Well, he couldn't do that. Now it's his right. Here's the thing. This is my perspective. It's his right to say whatever he has in his heart, but it's not everyone's right to participate in business with you if they're not comfortable with you having that position, right? And we've had those those political conversations happen all the time with a lot of different organizations, stuff like that. But again, it happens on both sides, right? I hate cancel culture. I think it's stupid. It's not only one direction; it's both, right? And again, I didn't watch that thing you told me about Hulk Hogan, but I can at least understand the thought process. And to be frank with you, I actually kind of feel a little bad for him. But to the overarching point, he shouldn't be making controversial statements, expecting no.
Like we were gonna forget about it.
Yeah,
like
because when someone on the other side does it, no one forgets about it.
Oh, of course.
Colin Kaepernick destroyed his career because of what he did.
So yes, you Terry, you get destroyed too. So you get destroyed too.
You'll hear talking heads on the other side saying, "Oh, you shouldn't get to work ever again." Well, if you said that, then you should also saying it. When Terry did what he did, right?
Yes.
You can't have it both ways. Only if they agree with you, like them. You should be open to the concept that either you have free speech is a thing. If he has no, but you have to temper it with understanding that you're trying to. When you're in business, Michael Jordan's famous quote: "How come you're not supporting this Democratic candidate in North Carolina? Because the other side buys shoes too."
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
The other side buys shoes too. And guess what? Michael Jordan's the billionaire. For a very good reason.
You know what's funny about it? So he tried to say that it was the politics, but Undertaker.
Sure.
Like he is a Republican. He has a podcast now.
Oh yeah.
And so he's a Republican. He's had Donald Trump on his podcast. He is a guy. And look, nobody boos the Undertaker. Yeah. Nobody boos him because it's like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with politics. It ain't got nothing to do, bro. You were a POS. You were a terrible person.
Good people are good people no matter
what you believe in. Yeah. No matter what you believe
in. Bad people are bad people no matter what you believe. Right? I mean, I think that's.
I'm an a-hole no matter what, so it's all right. I do it.
Okay. Hey, I'm the professor, so I have to. But let me try to grab us back on track.
I think that's what he was about.
Our producer's about to throw water at us. Look, going back to what I was saying about Virginia.
Yes.
We
went all the way back.
Well, hold on, because I had a transition plan, and he goes off 10 topics, but I digress.
What I'm gonna do. All right, go ahead.
No. Because the thing is, Virginia McCaskey, she's a quote unquote old school.
Yes, 100%.
And the truth is, we've officially entered this new school ownership, right?
Yes.
Multi-billionaires with playing money.
Of course. This is monopoly money at this point.
Well, I say that because obviously the biggest news this week, right, was the completely out of nowhere. Holy crap! Who saw this coming? Luka Doncic being traded from the Dallas.
I'll give you that. That was a good trade.
No, listen. Because obviously the GM for the Mavericks has been the worst for the entire week.
He is the worst GM in Dallas.
Well,
and Jerry got to be happy about it. He is the worst.
So first of all, it's my sincere belief that he was following orders. Right?
From who? Mark Cuban don't own the team no more. Like
who does?
He sold his shares.
Who does?
I don't know. You tell me because it ain't Mark Cuban. He sold his shares.
So Mark Cuban sold 74% of his company, of the Mavericks, to the family that owns the Venetian Hotel. They call the Alders. The Alders. I mean, there isn't one person who runs it. It's a consortium.
Okay.
And they spent $3.5 billion to do that. That's $3.5 billion cash that went from their pocket to Mark Cuban's. So, but regardless of how much they spent, they're the owners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your boss tells you to do something stupid, and you've been in corporate America long enough.
Yeah.
You gotta do something stupid. Why do I gotta do that? Don't ask questions. Just do something stupid. Okay.
So, but what are you doing it for?
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
All right. 15 years ago, LeBron James had the decision. Right?
Yes.
This is June 2010.
Yep.
And he sat there and had billionaires begging for his attention, jerking him around, this, that, and the other.
Yep.
And now it actually started a little before that, but that was the pinnacle of what I kind of categorize true NBA player power plays.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
All the all-stars getting to decide who they're going to play for, who's going to be their teammate, and how much their owners are going to spend.
Okay.
See, that's kind of the big thing, right? You know, the owner should, in every other industry in this world, the owner gets to decide how much I'm going to spend and how much I'm going to make. Mm-hmm. And there's other factors on the make part, but how much they're going to spend, the owner gets to decide. The NBA decided, nah, we can decide how much you're going to spend. We're going to hold you to fire for the CBAs. We're going to dictate who we want on the teams. And we're going to sit there and tell you where we're going to sign. I mean, LeBron James, the second a GM even thought about telling him no, cool, I'll leave. He's left 4 times in 10 years.
Yes.
He left Cleveland. He left the Cavs high and dry in 2010. Went back 4 years later.
I don't think I've ever seen a player get so many coaches fired.
Coaches fired.
Then I've seen LeBron.
I want to play with that guy. I want to play with the other guy.
Like, this is amazing to me. He's literally fired. Hey, look, you can count them all on maybe 2 hands.
Yeah.
On how many coaches he's gotten. A player. Like, we look, you can spin it how you want, but we're sitting back and watching. You're still there. You already said you don't like the head coach, and now he's gone?
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
The owners of the team, do you think they enjoyed that? Do you think they liked that?
Of course they don't. They want status quo. What?
They want to maximize their profit. You know what's happened the last 2 years in the NBA? Profit and viewership are down significantly.
I believe it.
So they said they're like, hey, we've been letting these players run roughshod, and now their business is down.
Oh, you think?
Enough of this. Let me ask you a question. What makes more sense? That AD is getting AD makes the Mavericks better? Let me debunk anyone who even thinks about that theory.
Nobody thinks that, though.
There are people who have.
Oh, God.
Well, really?
People.
Go to Stephen Smith and look at his comments.
Because he's a difference.
Oh, that AD makes Dallas Mavericks better? Oh, God. Okay.
I'm just saying there's pundits out there saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying there are. But let me debunk that from a straight wins and losses perspective.
Okay.
The beginning of last year, the first half of last year, the Mavericks were basically slightly above 500. Right? At the trade deadline last year, they picked up P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford. All of a sudden, they went on a massive win streak.
Right.
If you extrapolated their win percentage after the trade deadline last year for an entire season, they were a 61 win team. 61.
That's why they're in the finals.
They would have been the number 1 seed, and them being the finals would not have been a shot whatsoever. So in the offseason, they actually improved. They improved.
Okay.
Now, Luka got hurt, but you're taking basically the bones of a 55 to 65 win team, and you completely change the landscape, and change it in a way where, and this is the part of that whole situation that I think people should concentrate more on.
Mhm.
One of the reasons this thing was so shocking, AD didn't know, Luka didn't know.
Correct.
No NBA player had a clue that this was going to happen.
Except maybe LeBron.
It has been 20 years.
Hold on, wait. Can we have the producer say that one more time?
Say that again.
Wait, no, set it up again.
No.
Except maybe LeBron.
LeBron has said he did not.
And LeBron has lied countless times.
I'm not
And
disagreeing with that, but I sincerely believe.
I love that.
I sincerely believe
Producer.
no player in the NBA knew this was coming.
Okay.
And I sincerely believe this was the ownership group of the NBA in general sitting there saying, enough of this. I really believe that. Let's take one of our most marketable players and put him in the LA market. And let the players know that could happen to you too.
Mm.
That's why I sincerely believe LeBron. I hear you. You know, him being honest is not his strong suit.
Not his strength.
I don't disagree with you on that. However, I do also believe that listen, LeBron has won a championship in a few years. He's 40 years old. You know, he's not the same person or the same draw as he was 10 years ago, right? And the truth is, the guy who is, you know, just got traded to the second largest market in the NBA. And furthermore, and this is something else I also believe. The Supermax contract, which was negotiated in last CBA, was for $325 million worth of 5 years. Absolute madness. I mean, we're talking about. I remember when Jordan made $30 million a year, they thought he was ripping people off. Now we have like Bradley Beal is making $48 million a year, right? I mean, these contracts have kind of grown out of right? And remember, at the end of the, you've had players dictating to you terms and conditions of how much you're going to pay people, and who's going to be teammates, who's going to be the coach. Now, they might be able to get away with that when the product and the value of these organizations keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't fly when the value goes down.
Correct.
I mean, this is rule number one. You can't get away with as much if you're not making money. For the organization you belong to.
Look at the WA.
There are ski sledding. You know that there are ski sledding to a complete disaster. Let's transition to that one. But no, I sincerely believe the new owners of the Mavericks did not want to pay $325 million, 5 years, not just for Luka, for anybody.
Fair.
Because here's the question:
I've
actually been sick and tired of hearing, "Oh, Luka's out of shape." Luka's out of shape. What the hell are you talking about? Out of shape. First of all, he led the league in minutes. He scored 30 points a game. I wish I was that out of shape. Right now. Because I don't know if you have ever seen political spin. That's something that qualifies as political spin. Because I don't know what the hell anyone's talking about, and anyone in Dallas Mavericks organization saying that stuff should be ashamed of themselves. Just shut the hell up. You don't have to talk.
They're trying to cope with it.
They're trying to deal with PC nightmare, right? But of their own doing. You know, why not just say, I don't want to pay you $300 million, right? They didn't have the balls. Instead, they under the cover of night, without optimizing their return. That's the part that should piss off Mavericks fans. If they had shopped Luka, if they had shopped him legitimately, I don't think there's
With first rounders.
I don't think there's any pundits or GM who's being honest who would say they couldn't have done a better deal with someone else. So what you're saying is, I care more about what a couple pundits on TV think rather than what's best for my organization because I don't want to pay a player $300 million. Oh, okay.
Can somebody explain to me like the 2029 first round pick? Like it's not even like the next year. It's not the year. Can somebody explain that to me?
So,
That's
like
Dallas.
the 2029.
That's when Dallas will be in Vegas as a team.
That's a different that's a different conspiracy.
No, but I know, but it legitimately is.
So,
what is the purpose of the 2029 first round pick?
So first of all, there are very specific rules the NBA has about trading first round picks. I can't remember that. I think it's a Sapien rule. It was a GM from the 80s who had traded 5 first round picks in a row. And they made a rule that you can never, no team can ever do that again. You cannot trade consecutive first round picks. If you recall, the Lakers actually still owe New Orleans first round picks for the AD trade the first time.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, they traded them. I want to say 3. It could be 3 or 4, but they're not successive years. They're every other year. Because of that rule, the first available first round pick was actually 29. And if you saw the instantaneous criticism, because they traded the 29 pick, that means they are ineligible to trade the 30 pick. The next available draft pick to trade was 31. Okay. How come the Mavericks couldn't at least get the 29 and 31 draft pick? Again, I truly believe the GM of the Mavericks was following orders. He says, do this quick and quiet because I'm not paying this guy $300 million.
Let me throw something at you. I got you. All right, throw a question at you.
Okay.
That's not even a question. I'm going to throw a theory at you. Hey, what if we do not report out here until it's over? I'm just.
It's freezing.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, hold on, wait. I like it out here. I like it. I like the environment, but like it's getting dark, and that wind like is blowing. Hey, look, I'm gonna power through this show, and I'm gonna do it. But I just wanted to throw that theory out there. Like,
so what I did with Virginia McCaskey going to the Mavericks, that was a good transition. What this is, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
I wanted to throw a theory at him. I just wanted to ask, like, hey, what do you think about that? Anyway, let's on another topic. But transition to the next.
Here's the thing. My final thoughts on this. I really believe over the next 3 years, you're going to see a big transition.
I hope. Because it's terrible right now.
More of these players have less power and decide.
Who thinks the NBA is a good product right now?
Well, I think part of the reason is the way the game has kind of transitioned. I'm sorry, I don't like watching 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer. It's Kobe Bryant used to describe it as accidental basketball. Right? I drive, I kick it out. If he's open, he'll shoot. If he makes it, cool. If he doesn't, go on to the next play. All right, that's not basketball in the 90s and 2000s, right? And what do we end up with? Bigs who are jacking up threes, and I'm like, man, I don't want to see a 7-footer hit a 3.
Yeah,
you know, I'm okay with a Steph Curry, who obviously has the chops for that position, right?
I get it.
But one of the things I tell people, and it's kind of controversial, is I don't think Steph Curry could have played all-star basketball if he played.
I don't agree with that. And you know why I don't agree? Because he doesn't need to go in the paint. Where the paint is where people got messed up. He doesn't, but he didn't need to drive in there. So but now what I would say is he would be the Reggie Miller of that day. He would be that like the Ray Allen like in his early days. But like no, to say that he wouldn't be elite, no, but yeah, he's not driving the lane.
You can make an argument. He was probably the best at least one of the top two players of 2010.
Yeah.
And
So like, but if he tried to go in the paint, look, Patrick Ewing,
exactly.
Stop.
They actually played defense back then, right?
I know.
Okay.
So, but I mean, to say he wouldn't be effective, yeah, no, he'd be in elite status. He just would be like Reggie Miller of that day. That's it.
Well,
He'd be comparable to Reggie Miller. That's it. Now, can you outshoot Reggie Miller? Now, that's the question. That's it. That's it.
and I mean, Reggie Miller never won a championship, and Ray Allen didn't win one until he was like well in his 30s, and got to play a couple of years with KG and Pearson there. Probably.
Exactly. So that's all I'm saying. Like that's what they would have seen him as a role player, but he would have been the most elite, like assassin role player. Like he would have been like he would have been lights out. So
what do we think about the LA Lakers with Luka and LeBron?
I think they'll go really far. I think they'll be very competitive. Because I think they can work well together. Like,
gosh,
because Luka doesn't need
experiment.
He doesn't need
how you cut it. Yeah.
Because I mean, look, LeBron's gonna run the point, and Luka, you just gotta score. Like, yes, I think it can work perfectly. Like, the problem is just the way they went about it. I think that's the only thing that we're upset about. But when you actually look at it on paper, like,
are you really upset about it? I don't know if I'm upset about it. Granted,
I'm upset that they didn't market it better because they could have gotten more,
yeah.
and you could have been able to have a better trade. So I think that's what we're upset about. But because right now it's like, all right, so now we're just having the Lakers show again. Like, all right, so you were mad for all these years because the Lakers sucked, but the Lakers sucked because it was poor management. Like they were doing this.
Yeah,
and wait, who's the team of
they won
Lakers?
the championship in 2020, so it's not like it
was a fluke season. It was a fluke season. I'm not doing
I disagree.
Hold on. So like, look, we're mad because the Lakers have been trashed these past couple seasons, and we don't give like we don't put the responsibility on who's supposed to be. Who's the GM for the last several years for the Lakers? LeBron James. Stop. Like, make him at fault. Make him at fault. Like,
if you recall, 2 years ago, they made the ill-timed trade for
Jaden Daniels got Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Well, okay, well, that was a no. That was going to happen. We already knew that. So.
blah 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 blah. Who cares?
I mean, look,
we're not about to go through this thing again to where we messed up and picked the wrong QB again. Like, my God.
And coach and offensive coordinator.
Hold on. Before you start jumping off that plank, I saw a stat today about the best NFL rookie performance for the last 30 years.
Okay.
Both Caleb Williams, and we're talking about statistics now. We're not talking necessarily about both Caleb Williams and Jane Daniels were on that list, and I don't think that's an unfair statement, right? Let's be frank. The Chicago Bears' new coach, Ben Johnson, he's on record. He says Caleb Williams is the reason he wanted to come here. It is a QB-led league, right? This is why I thought any team picking the Raiders was bananas, because it's like, okay, not only do you not have a QB, you're in a division with 3 young QBs already locked in place. So good luck to you. That's even worse, right? They're picking 7 in a 2 QB draft.
Jeez.
So
that's rough.
I actually read recently that Sam Darnold is the betting favorite to sign me. Right? But Sam Darnold, he's already failed one place. So you're going to throw money at this guy and hope to God? I don't know. Playing in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL, and a good offensive line, and at the end of the day, what happened? They got bounced in the first round of the playoffs.
Every NFC North team got bounced one and done. I don't know. That's where I can find solace.
Let me make one more comment on Virginia McCaskey. I saw a comment today.
How do we keep coming back to her? Like,
I saw a comment that made me smile. The last game she ever saw.
Oh,
we beat the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay.
I'm okay with that then. Hey, rest in peace. You got to see that. You got to see that.
The comment was, you know what?
Good for you.
And the comment was, trust me. She dialed with a smile on her face.
It could have been worse. Yes, you got to see it. Good job. Good job, you old bag. I'm sorry. Rest in peace.
No, look, like I said, I really believe the NBA is going through a big transition right now. And this Luka trade is the first.
I'm trying to follow. Go ahead. All right, yeah. NBA is going through a transition.
Going through a transition, and I think the NFL is following suit, just like the NBA. And I sincerely hope that in this offseason we'll see a lot of positive changes. I mean, last week we talked about some ideas of what they should do. By the way, I've seen these ideas floating on the internet. The one guard I was telling you about, Detroit, betting lines have him as a favorite to go to the Chicago Bears. So I don't think I'm going to be that far off.
You could be not that far off. I just still don't have to like it. It's still a bad move.
So
it's still a bad move.
Did you hear the other rumor? The defensive end from the Browns.
Oh, Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, arguably the most talented defensive end in the NFL.
Yeah.
Has demanded a trade.
Okay. Yes, saw that.
Yeah. There are two teams right now that have merged as clear-cut favorites.
I don't want
them. You don't want Myles Garrett? No. Okay.
No, and here's why. What do you have to give up for him?
That is a very good
question. And here's the problem. Like, look, there's a difference between paying $5 more million than like the next closest guard versus giving up several first-round picks and paying him.
Yeah.
Those are two different pills to swallow. And so if you're telling me like, I got to give up how much trade equity and still pay him? Oh no, like because that's my only thing about Myles Garrett. Look, is he a game changer? Will he do damage? Sure. Excuse me. But if we're sitting here like, all right, but you got to give up 2 first-rounders, this, that, and the other, just to get him, it's like, nope. No, please don't do that.
So
this is not a Khalil Mack situation. We're not in that situation right now.
Well, remember Khalil Mack came out of the clear blue sky.
But it's the same scenario. It was the same scenario. Like, look, we still had to give up.
Yeah.
We gave up a lot for him. But we had the defensive structure and the offensive structure to an extent to make that work. Because, like I said, Mitch was competent. Allen Robinson was competent. Like Zach, what was his name? Zach, I can't remember our tight end, but at the time, we had a competent offense. It wasn't like it was a dog crap.
We did not have a competent. Stop. We had Lovie Smith dragged Rex Grossman and his trash arm to the Super Bowl.
You want to give up multiple first-rounders?
No.
Oh,
okay. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
What I am saying is the Bears are listed as the number 2 ranked team to trade for Gillen. Okay?
I believe that.
Number 1 is Washington. Well, here's the thing.
I'm so sick of this.
Washington actually has more cap space than the Bears do this offseason.
I'll get him.
And their first-round pick is a late first-round pick, not top 10.
Go get him. By all means, Washington, go get him. Go get him. Like,
I personally think they should, but
because I mean we're picking, like I said in the last one, in the first 3 rounds we're picking 4. We're picking 4 times. We can build out this team.
Like I said,
if we do free agency correctly.
I want 2 of those top 4 picks to be offensive linemen. It's to some extent, right? And the 2 positions that we spend the most money on to also be offensive line. Okay? That's how you fix the offensive line. Throw more resources in. They have the available resources. Just spend it. Okay?
He plugged in these things, and I don't know if they're heaters or if they're air conditioning.
Those are heaters, but you cannot possibly be that cold.
Yes.
You are both from Chicago.
Yeah.
Why
This is sandal weather. What are y'all talking about?
Why
You guys are
does
driving
me being from Chicago justify wanting to be cold?
Uh,
Why
You should take 20-degree weather.
No, it's first of all, because
20 degrees.
for starters, it's not 20
We have
degrees.
5 minutes left. What's on the docket, Professor?
It's still 20 degrees outside.
We have 5 minutes left, Professor. What's on the docket?
All right, so what?
Because I'm scared of his stupid question.
No. Oh, here's stupid question.
I'm scared of his because he's trying to get people in
A
trouble.
lie that you get away
Like
with
you
it.
may, if I got away with it, why would I want to now expose
You already
it
got
now?
away with it.
Exactly, I want to keep getting away with it. What do you mean? Do you see
Yeah, like then I forged my mom's signature when I was in grade.
That's not the biggest lie. That's okay. You don't have to.
No.
Wait, no, what's the other? Why don't I
Do
read?
you still think the Chiefs win on Sunday?
Yes, I do. Even though I'm in protest, but I still think they got it. Like whatever.
That's fine.
I'm in protest. Like I said, look, I even y'all gonna see. I will post on our page me in my Michael Vick jersey. I promise you, and I'll show you. I'm in protest.
What I will say is this: I do believe Philly wins. I do have a confidence, and this is why I think there's diabolical things going down Luka trade, because you know what we haven't talked about at all this week in the general ESPN sports world? The flipping Super Bowl. Like, it's been all NBA this week because of the Luka trade.
Right deadline.
And Jalen Carter, your favorite defensive tackle, actually reported in questionable yesterday.
All right, no play.
If he does not play,
There's no way he's not.
if he does not play, Kansas City wins. I really believe that.
Jalen Carter's playing. He's playing. There's no doubt. Jalen Carter's playing. It's all right. Like I said, I'm gonna have my Michael Vick jersey on. We're good. We're good. Michael Vick is gonna take us to the Super. He's gonna win us the Super Bowl.
But if you recall, the one time Mahomes lost was right with Tampa Bay.
Yep. And because they had him running for his life.
Because nobody was talking about those last-minute injuries on the tackle positions.
Absolutely.
They're like, oh, he'll play. Then he didn't play. And he was running for his life that entire game.
It was great. It was great to watch.
Right?
I enjoyed it.
But again, it did prove.
Go Birds.
It did prove kind of an overarching point. He can be defeated. He's not Superman. Right?
Go Birds.
And
What is the Eagles fight song? Do they have one? I don't know what it is.
Fly Eagles fly.
Fly Eagles fly. I don't know. Who cares? And
I'm trying to remember what the theme song. It was in that movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg.
Go Birds. It doesn't matter. Forget it. Go Birds. Whatever. Hey, all right. Hey, so I want to thank again Shakerton, Prosper. I want to thank Casey, who's actually allowed us as a great host.
Yeah,
he's been able to let us hook us up. He's been setting it up for the music. Put all the stuff up here. I love it. I'm kind of liking it here.
We did put it.
We did. We put the Shakertons. Hey, we put it up here. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody here. I've been getting drunk and I've had good wings, so that's always a good thing. Like, look, when you can get good food, get drunk. It's a good start. So I'm gonna go keep getting drunk. If y'all want to come down, have a drink with me. I'm gonna be here for a minute, and I'm gonna have a few drinks.
Okay.
But again, appreciate
the Donkey Den. Look for us on social media, YouTube, all that fun stuff.
And we out this month. Still, y'all ain't getting.
Close it.
Y'all ain't.